Section 1. An Introduction to Power. The flanker legacy begins. Some say the loudest sound in the world is a volcano erupting. Others argue it's a space shuttle launch. And then there are those who have stood near a runway as a pair of Sukhoi Su-27s take off on full afterburner. The Earth doesn't just shake. It feels like the very fabric of physics is being torn apart by raw, unapologetic Russian power. These aren't just jets. They are declarations of intent, sculpted from metal and fueled by defiance. They are fast, they are enormous, and they possess a brutalist sort of elegance that makes you stare, even if you know you shouldn't. The story of Sukhoi is not merely one of aeronautical engineering. It is a saga of ambition written across the sky in contrails and sonic booms, a tale of a nation determined to not just compete, but to dominate. The origins of the modern Sukhoi dynasty can be traced back to the Cold War, a time when paranoia was the world's most abundant resource. The West had the F-15 Eagle, a peerless air superiority fighter that gave Soviet planners sleepless nights. In response, the Kremlin didn't just ask for an equivalent, they demanded something better, bigger, and with more range. Section 2. The Family Tree. Key models and their roles. At the heart of the Sukhoi family is the original Su-27 flanker, the alpha predator that started it all. Conceived purely as an air superiority fighter, its job was simple: to hunt down and destroy enemy aircraft, particularly the F-15. To do this, it was built with two immensely powerful Saturn AL-31 engines that gave it a phenomenal thrust-to-weight ratio, allowing it to climb like a rocket and achieve speeds over twice the speed of sound. Its massive internal fuel capacity gave it legs, enabling it to patrol vast swathes of airspace without needing to refuel. Armed with a potent 30mm cannon and a mix of infrared and radar-guided air-to-air missiles, the Su-27 was, and remains, a lethal duelist in a sky-high sword fight. Building on that success, Sukhoi developed the Su-30. Think of it as the Su-27's more worldly, multi-talented sibling. Recognizing that modern conflicts required more than just dogfighting, the Su-30 was designed as a two-seat, multi-role fighter, with countries like India adopting it as the backbone of their air force under the designation Su-30 MKI. Section 3. Anatomy of a Predator. Unpacking Sukhoi's design philosophy. The secret to a Sukhoi's performance begins with its engines. These jets are almost universally powered by twin Saturn AL series turbofans, colossal power plants that produce a deafening roar and biblical amounts of thrust. This sheer brute force is fundamental to the Sukhoi philosophy. It allows these large, heavy airframes to accelerate rapidly, climb at astonishing rates, and sustain high speeds. On later models like the Su-35 and Su-57, this power is harnessed by thrust vectoring nozzles. These movable nozzles allow the pilot to direct the engine's thrust in different directions, providing an incredible level of control and allowing the jet to perform post-stall maneuvers that make it an unpredictable and deadly opponent in a close-range dogfight. Aerodynamically, Sukhois are a masterclass in blending size with agility. They feature a blended wing body design, where the fuselage and wings flow together smoothly, which generates extra lift and contributes to their remarkable maneuverability, especially at high angles of attack. The prominent leading-edge root extensions LERXs that sweep forward from the wings create powerful vortices of air that flow over the wings at high angles, keeping the jet stable and controllable in situations where other aircraft would simply stall and fall out of the sky. Section 4. In the Cockpit. The art and science of flying a Sukhoi. Climbing into the cockpit of a Sukhoi is not like getting into a car. It's more like being strapped into a thoroughbred racehorse crossbred with a ballistic missile. The pilot is enveloped by the machine, surrounded by the screens and the controls. Training to fly one is an arduous and demanding process. Pilots spend hundreds of hours in advanced simulators, learning the intricate dance of managing the aircraft's systems. They must master the flight controls, the powerful radar, the complex weapons interface, and the electronic warfare suite. Only after proving their mettle in the virtual world do they get to tame the real beast. Once airborne, flying a Sukhoi is a profoundly physical experience. The sheer acceleration pushes the pilot back into their seat. Tight turn G-forces can feel like 9 Gs. Pilots must wear specialized G-suits that inflate to squeeze their legs and their abdomen, preventing blackouts. They must learn to breathe under this immense pressure, while tracking adversaries, communicating with wingmen, and making split-second, life-or-death decisions. Section 5. Global Footprint, from export success to combat operations. The story of Sukhoi's global reach is, in many ways, the story of the Su-30. While the Su-27 was a formidable machine, it was the highly versatile, two-seat Su-30 that became a massive export success. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia needed hard currency, and its advanced military hardware was a prime commodity. Countries that wanted a top-tier fighter without the political strings or astronomical cost of Western equivalents flocked to Sukhoi. India became the largest international operator, co-producing a customized version known as the Su-30 MKI, which featured a mix of Russian avionics, Indian avionics, Israeli avionics. This deal became a template for Sukhoi's export strategy. Flexibility, a willingness to tailor the aircraft to the customer's specific needs. This export success created a vast and diverse global user base. China was an early customer, acquiring Su-27s, acquiring Su-30s, which heavily influenced its own domestic fighter programs, leading to aircraft like the J-11, J-16. Other nations across Asia, Africa, and South America also added flanker derivatives: Vietnam, Algeria, Venezuela, Malaysia. For these air forces, the Sukhoi jets represented a significant leap in capability, providing them with a long-range, heavy-hitting fighter that could project power and serve as a powerful deterrent. Section 6. The future is now, evolving for the next generation of warfare. The future of the Sukhoi Design Bureau is embodied in its most ambitious project to date, the Su-57 Felon. This is Russia's answer to the American F-22 and to the American F-35. A fifth-generation fighter designed from the ground up with stealth as a primary consideration. It incorporates features like internal weapons bays to reduce its radar cross-section, advanced radar-absorbent materials, and an airframe shaped to deflect enemy radar waves. The goal is not just to fight, but to survive and win in an environment saturated with sophisticated sensors and air defense systems. Sukhoi is actively developing concepts where the Su-57 acts as a quarterback in the sky, working in tandem with unmanned combat aerial vehicles and loyal wingmen. In this vision, the pilot in the Su-57 would command a squadron of autonomous drones, sending them forward to scout, jam enemy electronics, or even engage targets, all while the manned fighter remains at a safer distance. The aircraft will be armed with new hypersonic weapons, capable of striking targets at incredible speeds, making them nearly impossible to intercept. From the raw power of the Su-27 to the stealthy intelligence of the Su-57, the Sukhoi family has consistently defined the cutting edge of Russian military aviation.